Do you hear that sound?
Yes.
Penis.
That wonderful sound.
Penis. That is a sound of summer grass going down.
Beautiful.
It fills me with glee. Oh, it's so good to see.
If you put cat ears on a manatee, would it be a nyanatee?
Oh my god. Oh no.
Okay.
That's new.
I think manatees become a trigger. I think I'm just I'm just upset when I hear manatee. Those fat,
That's your problem.
Very sad.
stupid,
So happy.
fortunate
They're wonderful.
fucks.
They're so good.
I love them. They're adorable. I'd love to pet one. I don't think they should exist. Moving on. Into game we go.
You shouldn't exist.
You are right. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to Nat19, Vestige of Ophiuchus, Campaign 1, Session 62. Bread!
God, why me? Why?
1 minute or less, what happened last time?
You got this.
We beat up the drow. We made them our bitches. And it was like, pa 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 pa. Oh, right. So we beat them up. We kicked their butts. And then we ran. We got to the place we need to go. We found the secret tunnel. We went down. There was a door. Vincent was like, "Man, door, get out of my way." And the door was like, "No." So then we touched the door, and the door was like, "You the highest standard? Sick." And they let us in. But they were like, "Ooh, fate."
Are you the highest standard? Sick!
You sound Italian.
I'm struggling today. And so then we all had to pick cards from the deck of many things, which, by the way, guys, Fred Redderson, suffer a mile away. Besides the point. Anyway, so Fred thought, like, maybe everyone pull one card. No! Everyone pulled so many cards!
That's not true. Everyone?
Yeah.
I pulled one.
Oh,
Quintus
Cody,
didn't draw any.
Ryuji, don't lie. Ryuji, speak. So Cody didn't choose violence for once, and so he didn't. And then Spencer pulled 5 cards and somehow didn't implode.
I chose.
Fred fucked up. Avi's rich. Lexi has a traitor. Flux, Gigi. Miriam has 3 wishes. That's all I remember, because I was crying!
So, Ryuji's real voice here. We finished pulling the cards and it was great. No, I'm stepping in for my sweet Bretterson, who's doing an amazing job, and the Ryuji energy is very pure. But my dear Bretterson was crying, so we all got a bunch of cool shit, and then that's pretty much where we ended. So yeah, no, you nailed it, Bretterson. I love you.
Also, Vogan has a fucking fire sword?
Vogan has everything.
Exclamation point. Fucking disgusting now,
God
and I
damn.
wouldn't know that.
Rogan became emperor of the universe.
Vogan became as powerful as a manatee.
Logan became emperor of the...
Vogan has accumulated 0.10% of a manatee's power.
It's true.
Aristides, do you have any idea on what we should do?
I was only sent here with knowledge of vaguely what would happen, that the city would be in danger. I have absolutely no idea what this is. Although it doesn't look like what I'm familiar with. That sphere in the center looks like a rudimentary attempt to create Sephirite. Which means that whatever's contained inside of it is probably a being of great power. If it's very old, though, and if it hasn't been broken down and suffused into the crystal, it may just be a corpse that is being used to puppet part of the ritual. It's hard to tell.
If that's the case, then the way to stop the ritual is to destroy it.
If you believe that to be possible.
Well, we don't have any way of, getting over there. If we don't have a way to get over there, then I vote that we get Aviana. Or someone that can fly.
Hold my arm.
What?
Hold my arm.
I hold it.
I try and step off.
Oh. Huh!
Whenever you step off, and you step off into the, sphere, there's initially a little bit of inertia as you begin to fall, but then you stop, and as soon as you're within the sphere, you find yourself to be weightless. And not only that, you find that you just have an innate sense of how to direct your weight and can move around freely while floating inside the sphere.
Okay, that'll work.
Well, Benny, are you doing anything like specific, or is that just like what's happening?
Kitty, I didn't know you could float.
That's what I'm asking.
You're like some sort of majestic manatee.
Floating to the oceans.
What's a manatee?
This has been fun.
Oh, he's leaving. Oh god.
Oh shit! Come back.
You know, manatees are very important creatures in hobgoblin culture.
God damn it.
That's fine.
Manatee Idolos win.
You know what, Eric? You can DM now. You can run manatee game.
All right, cool.
All right.
I'm gonna throw a fucking Manatee Idolos at y'all. It's
All
gonna be
right.
great.
Oh shit!
Okay, back in.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I vote we go find Morian and the others. We don't know how many are left alive, but if anyone is alive, we need to find them.
I see.
Shit.
He's gonna look at
Really good
Omar.
point.
This is your city too. Where are you at? What do you want to do?
I guess that sounds like a good idea. I'm worried about people here, but if this will help.
It's the highest standard. They will find a way out.
They're very
well,
capable.
I guess those guys too.
Oh,
Those
no,
guys
there's-
too, I guess.
Any
Wow.
of you within the outside group that, as soon as your thoughts turn to the possibility of leaving, any of you with a intelligence score of, what would it be, of 16 or higher, you feel this almost rush moving past you and inwards toward the center of the vault. This strange, almost ethereal chill that washes over you and seems to get pulled in towards it. Not aggressively and in no way that causes you to physically react, but you feel this just feeling pulling your mind as if something is probing you, washing over you.
That was odd.
What was odd?
Did you all not feel that?
I didn't.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Felt something pulling me inward.
Those of you that are inside with a intelligence of 16 or higher, you also feel this brief feeling as if something is trying to listen to you and trying to invade your mind. And there's a very brief moment of almost a ringing sound in your mind. But those inside, after it happens, it seems to come from a direction. And when you look towards it inside, you see that as part of the night sky that makes up the walls here, you briefly see these 7 floating stars arranged in a very specific pattern, shining brightly with what looks like a starry path formed out of other stars moving in between it, which then disappears. Not a physical path, just to be clear. Just as if a constellation had formed out of these stars, and that's where the sound had been coming from, and it vanishes as soon as you see it.
Did all of us hear that, or just intelligence?
Only those with an intelligence of 16
Do
or
any
higher.
of us have that?
I think only.
I mean, you would. Right?
Lexi's intelligence is
Me?
14.
14, yeah.
Do any,
it's 14.
do any of you
Yeah.
in there have an intelligence of...
No.
Oh, none of you hear it!
No.
The only person in this entire group who is aware of this effect is Flux.
Knew it. I knew it. We were talking about this earlier.
I had forgotten. The only person inside and outside aware of this happening is Flux.
We're gonna go find Maureen and the others.
Aw.
And then we're gonna leave.
All right. Those inside, you do not hear it.
When?
Fuckers are abandoning us.
I can't wait to go outside and be embraced by all of our friends.
The others head out. So you guys are heading up and trying to go up towards the Skyward Estate's main floors?
Yes.
Alrighty. As you do so, it will probably take you another good, to find your way back out, another good 20, 30 minutes to head back up, because this place is not entirely straightforward.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we'll stick with those that are inside the sphere for a bit. What do you guys want to do?
I'm touching it.
Of course you
I was
are.
gonna say there wasn't really much else left to do but touch it.
Yeah.
Mariam,
Be careful.
as you walk up to touch it, or as you float up to touch it and you put your hand against it, I would like you to roll me an intelligence save.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Oh!
That's a boy.
You
Nice.
walk
Get some
up
style
to it.
points.
You walk up to it. You put your hand on it, and when you do, oh, this really limits options. You touch it, and you feel a presence entering into your mind. You find yourself get sucked in, and various images flash through it. Notably, when you put your hand on it, your palm is immediately pulled against it, against the surface of it, as if it's just sucked onto the surface of it. In your mind, you see various images that you can't quite comprehend or understand of various scenes of an individual studying magic, going on various adventures wherein they learn the better parts of how to use it in a country that you do not fully recognize. You take it to be something very old. The architecture around it looks very different than what you're used to. You see various companions come and go as the memories of something floods into your mind. You see this person go on, you see through their eyes, you see this person go on a journey in which they defeat a great fiend and free another figure from what appears to be a large sphere made to entrap them, and then your mind suddenly sees these confusing images of it, of almost what looks like a stairway in the middle of a great void leading up into the heavens, a great blast, a figure being destroyed by an armored figure, and then you being left with other people. Well, not you, but from your point of view. You being left in the middle of a giant crater that spans miles around you. From that point on, the images become painful to see. You see a bearded white figure that has features that seem to shift constantly, granting a mote of light, just reaching their hand out with a small flicker of light in it, being taken by this figure that you are seeing through the eyes of. And then you see all sorts of images of conflicts with great figures, calamities, and eventually experience a battle in which the skies of the world go dark. Everything is hard to see. Experiencing these memories becomes so painful that you can barely comprehend them. And you see these great figures appear and see a battle between this figure and some great titanic being where they are destroyed. They're crushed underfoot, this mountain-sized, almost volcano, animated volcano of a creature. And then everything goes quiet. You feel something inside your mind probes it. You feel like your mind is filled to the brim with information, then gets sucked out, and you just hear a very faint voice. You couldn't understand. And then you are pushed back, you are shifted back into your body, blasted back, and you guys see Miriam. He doesn't get hurt by it, but he is almost demagnetized and thrust back, and hits the outer wall of the sphere. Even though it's infinite space, the sphere is still physically there, and he hits it and comes to his senses.
Kitty, are you alright?
Miriam, you okay?
Yeah, that's not what I expected. I can't say I expected any of that, but
What happened?
I don't really know. I saw a lot of stuff. I'm still trying to work through it all.
So what should we do from here?
I can't say that gave me any extra insight. Whatever's in there didn't want to talk to me too much.
Then why were we led here?
Maybe I'm not their type.
Should we try and break her out?
Upon Kitty saying maybe he's not their type, Quintus will look to his hand. Hey, here's my thought out of game. If making the save didn't do anything, maybe failing the save will do something.
Jesus.
Wow. Oh, you're gonna die.
I want to
This
touch
is good.
the sphere.
Bold of you to assume he made the save.
Oh.
That's
However,
fair.
I feel like you've committed to a train of thought, so...
I have.
Well, fuck.
Let's go.
Quintus, you go up to... Quintus, make me an intelligence save.
I enjoyed that.
Well, you
He
see.
didn't. This
Well,
is
you
a very
see.
poorly equipped party to deal with this.
Dude,
Well, you
I was
see.
gonna say.
Quintus?
For sure you failed.
Quintus, as you walk up, as you float up to touch it, your hand almost makes contact with it, and you feel your hand shake. It like pushes you away from it. You feel your entire arm start to get sort of contorted, not painfully, but moved back from it, and your whole body feels like it starts to vibrate. You suddenly feel gravity assert itself. Those outside, those that are heading up, I'm going to propose that you are not quite out of the room yet for the sake of Quintus. Your body gets like ragdolled to the side briefly, and then hurled out of the chamber entirely. You are flung out. You guys, Flux, as you're turning away, you hear the sound of metal scraping against stone as Quintus comes hurtling out and scrapes along the stone of the floor towards you.
Quintus! Master Quintus!
I'm gonna run to him and try to help him up.
Yes, same.
Are you okay?
What happened?
Apparently not me either.
What?
What?
I'm also not their type.
I
No,
don't.
it's you guys.
Type?
I don't know. You seem like a great guy, man.
I'm gonna sling his arm over my shoulder and like get him up.
I'll get the other arm.
Oh,
As
you
you're
okay?
flung out just inside, Aristides just like tilts, like turns his head as he watches him fly out. And you just see him be like, interesting. You see two figures standing up here. Well, you'd see three figures. First of all, when you enter, you would see Vindy looking at just at the edge of the balcony, looking out at the city. You would see Lilywind within this area, inspecting the crystal that is taking up most of the room. And another figure you would see would be someone you would recognize to not be... You might not know necessarily what like a nun looks like, but somebody that is carrying a series of cross-patterned items and has a very large bronze greatsword on their back and has a skull mask worn underneath their hood. What are you doing currently, sister? What is your activity in the room?
Well, I was sharpening my sword.
They are sharpening their sword.
wait, Toss was in here for a reason?
What?
Oh, I love sister! Sorry, I'm good.
Well, isn't this a surprise?
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm sharpening my sword. Clearly, I thought that was obvious, but
Elma is overjoyed and runs over to sister.
She embraces her.
Oh, what on earth are you all doing here? How did you get in?
The elevator.
Ah.
Was there anyone else here?
Fucking both sides just being like stating the obvious.
Of course.
No, I came here to check on things. And, well, I think it's safe to say things are not going optimally. It is a pleasure to see you doing well.
As good as I can be right now. I'm just frantically looking around the room to see if there's any sign of anyone else who transported in.
Looking around, you do see several statues of people in the room, guards. You see one of Valder, and you do see one weapon pointed inwards toward the large crystal formation that's covering the throne. You do see what appears to be a crystallized statue of Rory. As you seem to notice it, you hear Vindy not turning back to use voice, just softly.
There was nothing to be done to protect those that did not have the aptitude to survive it. I apologize. If not for Lord Morian's actions, then I feel that we would all likely be in that state currently. I was starting to wonder when you would show up, or if that dragon had killed you on the spot.
Just shaking my head, just staring at Rory's statue. No, we got out just fine. Morian said to go to the bunker, so that's where we went first. We should have come here sooner.
Did you manage to get it open?
Yes.
And did you find anything worthwhile?
There's a large sphere in there. It's just like an endless void and sphere, and there's a being in it. An aspect of Vestius appeared to us. Gave us a test. To change fate.
And yet fate remains quite unchanged.
It seems a bit soon to say that, don't you think?
I'm just gonna walk across the room towards the statue of Rory, and at this point there's just tears rolling down her face, just not caring.
You see Lilywind backs up.
Whenever things began, he made himself the target of this whole thing, I think. He backed up, said he was going to buy everybody else time. The crystals seemed to form around him as if he was luring them in. The spires came up as if to restrain him. And he's been slowly being sapped ever since this began. The only hope that we might have,
Lilywind starts,
and I don't even think it would matter at this point, is between the time when we were teleported away and all of this began. Agravain returned to their estate, and they used their teleportation circle to return to the elemental plane of fire. They said they would go to the City of Brass, and if things got out of hand, bring somebody back, but I have a distinct feeling that we're beyond the reach of anybody outside right now. From what I've seen of what's happening, especially being this close to Lord Morian, I'm not sure how much all of you would be familiar with the Weave, but it seems that what's going on here is the spell is creating a sort of second weave that has connected itself to every living thing here. That's magic has become far more potent than it was outside, and I've been using that to stop any of them, she points out to the few remaining algoritms floating above the city, from getting to here. But I'm not actually familiar with anything that could create a second weave. It is said that Vestius creates the weave to allow mortal beings to access magic, to allow us to control the arcane. Whatever this thing is that's underneath the city, this being, it apparently has the ability to, even as a corpse, create a second one. But not for anyone's benefit. I'm not sure if that helps us. I just thought I'd let you know, so that if any of your spellcasting friends find that they are empowered, they understand why. And perhaps you understand the ramifications of using that power you've been granted means that you are dipping into the life force being drawn from the city to cast your spells. I do not believe that you are extinguishing the souls of the people here, but the ambient energy sucked from them in the form of their life. That is having the inadvertent effect of empowering those of us already connected to the weave.
Do you know of anything that could possibly help reverse it or destroy this thing down below that's causing this?
The destruction of whatever's creating the second weave would entirely collapse the magic that we're experiencing. However, I imagine whatever it is also where all of the souls being collected are, so to destroy it would mean to kill them. I don't know if such a thing would have a fail state where it would return things to how they are, but these things are rarely so giving. We could end it maybe, but reverse the damage, I don't think so. Not without some outside help. Whatever you feel that you need to do, I believe you have more information than the rest of us do. So, my plan...
She turns towards the large hunk of crystal.
If he, unfortunately, runs out of steam, my plan is to take his place. I've got quite a bit of magical energy to chew on, so I would be able to buy the city sometime. Besides, waiting to die in here is not entirely preferable to at least getting to relax in there and not have to worry about Tenebros swooping in.
Well, we don't know where the spear thing is, then I feel like that might be the next best thing, right? Is taking care of him. Points to dragon.
It would make things much calmer.
It would not do anything.
We could barely take him down in his human form.
And right now I'm feeling very weak.
You hear the resounding sound of a ballista being shot as you see a massive bolt fly through the air from one of the chunks of floating city towards Tenebros. And though it misses him, you occasionally just hear the most faint, "Come on! That took forever to set up! Get another one!"
Oh,
I miss the boys.
I told you there were more people here!
Not the right
Guess they're dead.
ones.
Yeah.
I think
go back.
the best we can do is check back in with the others. Let them know what we know now. See if they have gained anything from that orb that we have found.
See if they found anything new. I hate that I don't know how to fix this.
There are a great many things that are difficult to know how to fix, child. But that is what life is about. Let's take a walk.
I'm going to just kind of nod. Just reach up and just kind of very lightly touch the face of Rory's statue. I'm gonna fix this. And we're gonna go home.
So, Flux, what happened?
Are you okay?
I believe so. I also believe that we now have some company, perhaps. When I touched the orb,
Oh?
they I saw some visions, as well as a figure who asked if I would take them outside.
Was it that figure? I point to the thing inside the crystal.
Does it look the same?
Well, you saw the figure
Yeah.
inside the crystal look to you, and it asked, so yes.
Gotcha.
Oh, go.
Yes. I believe they are called Mistra.
What?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
Would any of us know what that is, Logan?
Nope.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It is new to me as well, but they seem to have allowed me certain permissions that I will be honest, I am somewhat grappling with mentally.
So wait.
I'm so scared of you.
You
I'm so scared of you, Flux.
You keep telling people you're scared of them, Vogan.
No, but he's got.
That noise. You're kind of cheapening it now.
Oh. Okay, so wait. You touched the thing, and you like your brain went into it, and you like died, and now you have a thing, like with you. I'm confused.
Like,
what's happening?
Is it inhabiting your?
Is it a parasite?
I do not believe that. I don't believe the word parasite would be quite accurate.
Oh, a symbiotic relationship then.
Oh, that
Perhaps.
sounds better.
Although, at least initially, it seems like I am getting a far better end of this bargain. But I will do what I can to assist them in any way I can, assuming it is
Okay.
not something
What-
nefarious, of course.
What are you getting, and what do they want?
As far as I can tell, based on our brief interaction, they wish to. I believe they want freedom to go outside.
Oh.
And in exchange, they have allowed me some abilities.
Say more words. Like,
Well, first thing is apparently I can create a large amount of silver fire.
Oh.
Silver fire.
Indeed.
Fancy.
It has
Yeah,
some,
it's really fancy.
it appears to have some very unique and curious properties. From what I can tell, it appears to be an incredibly, perhaps even 100% pure form of magic. Even an anti-magic field is powerless against it.
Oh,
In fact,
that's really cool.
In fact, if I were to use this fire within such a field, the field would be at least momentarily disabled.
Oh.
Wow.
And the other,
Mm-hmm.
blessing that was acquired is, the implications are somewhat mind-boggling.
What do you mean?
If I am understanding this correctly, once per week,
Okay.
I can cast any spell that I have seen anyone else cast.
Oh.
With certain caveats, but
Sorry, that
What are
knocked the
those
wind out of me.
caveats?
Yes.
Also, Miriam cast wish in front of him.
Oh,
What are you talking about? I can't cast wish.
if I, it's hard to describe this without going into just game jargon, but out of character, if I try to cast a spell that's level is higher than my proficiency bonus, I have to make a check, a bit like if I was using a spell scroll above my level.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I guess if I watched Miriam cast Wish and then tried to cast Wish, it'd be like, what, DC 19?
Yep.
You could
And if
still
you
roll
fail
the
said
spell.
check, it
long
doesn't expend the use of the feature, but you fail to cast the spell, and you take damage for how many levels above your proficiency bonus the spell was.
Oh, shit.
There.
Okay.
There's
Could
the
be,
consequence.
But it requires no spell slot, no material components. Also, just so you know, in case you hadn't thought about this, it doesn't require any components of any kind, which also means it can't be counterspelled, because there's no visual indication of it being cast.
Oh my god, you're
Holy
right.
shit.
I need to just teach you spells.
That's fucking sick.
That's crazy.
This is too much power, I'm afraid.
Wow.
You've turned me into a nuke.
So first it was Spencer, and now it's Izzy.
Yeah.
Horseshit, right?
Like basically Iron Giant then? Just magic.
Oh, wow.
Woo! And Fenris
Hi.
just like sees sister, and you just see like war flashbacks to the card pulling. Just and she just turns to the side and is like, I need a moment.
Sister like quirks her head to the side, noticing this.
And are you okay?
Just one moment, Lexi. I'll be with you.
Hi, I'm Lexi.
Hello.
Hi, sister.
Hi.
Pleasure to meet you.
She's Lexi.
Apologize for my I know that my outfit and appearance can be quite shocking to some.
No. Please don't take any. I didn't mean any.
Oh, it's quite all right, dear. I trust me. I have this effect on people.
So is that a mask?
No, it's
or-
wonderful to
I
meet
think it looks
another.
really neat.
It's a wonderful to meet another person of the cloth.
What?
Well,
I mean, we are all clothed currently, as far as I.
We are all
yes.
clothed like normal
Great.
people
Selma.
with our clothes.
This
all-
is accurate.
With our clothes.
Covering our human skin.
yes. No, I'm
Indeed.
speaking of your nun's attire.
I am not aware of this joke. Forgive me.
Holy fuck. Fenris turns to Lexi. Is there a joke attached to this? I don't.
I
don't know.
Oh dear.
Excuse me, sister. Is that a mask or?
no.
Yes, I don't know of many people that would walk around with a face made of brass.
Ah, okay, I was making sure. I had a dream one time where a bunch of people went in and they fought a bunch of metal skeletons, and it was crazy. It was the lights everywhere. Oh.
So what did you guys find?
Flux made a friend.
I was with you.
Oh, well.
I guess confused over the ideas, but just
As much as I wanted
I love you, Brad.
As Sister is reading the 5th ring, she seems to visibly perk up.
Could you describe what perking up looks like for Sister?
Hell yeah.
I'm interested in what this would be.
Let's see. So
I have a
mean,
picture.
she's
One second. It looks
Her
like
mouth opens.
The mouth just.
She's like, you know, kind of in a relaxed, thoughtful position, whatever, and just kind of like hovering as it takes a while to like read through these different things. But then she's going to like straighten up, and so she's going to turn around. Because she failed to read the 6th one and comprehend it, so. But she does seem a bit more hastened. I don't know, enthusiastic. She's floating back towards the group now, and then steps out.
I was able to discern some information. It appears each ring is describing a stage or part of this ritual process, but I could only make out about 3 of them. One confirmed the suspicion and information about there being another weave, a secondary weave. And then the one other described the algorithms, but the 5th was particularly interesting as it seems to detail that there may be a way to reverse the effect.
What?
Oh, wonderful.
Reverse.
Well, that's so good. Wonderful.
Excellent.
What's
Well,
that?
I am not sure if I'm still trying to comprehend, and as I said, I could not fully read all of them. There was the whatever the last one was is still a mystery to me, but it said that when enough energy was present within this weave, the caster may either proceed with the ritual and burn the energy to seal the target within Sephirite, or release the weave and undo the damage done by the ritual. I am assuming that the form in the center is the caster, but I am not sure.
Aristides, having followed you out since you seemed excited, steps back into the area with you. If I had to guess, I would say the caster is Vestius, or Morganus, the aspect of Vestius.
So we are still at their whims, unfortunately. But if we can somehow convince them to release it, then there may be a way.
So, Quintus, now that I have you, I was wondering while everyone's inside if we could just have a quick chat.
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
Do you want to heckin' go private chat real quick?
Yeah, figure they're all
No,
inside
we're
looking.
so damn it.
All right, we're gonna go private chat real quick. Hey, everybody else, I'm gonna throw you guys into another chat if that's cool, because I have a feeling this is gonna be juicy.
Okay.
Oh, bitch.
Juicy.
All of you go to dungeon 1. Get out of here, or
You're a
spread
bitch.
yourselves among the dungeons. They
We're all
can't.
gonna go to dungeon
They
one.
can't fit all of you. Just go.
This would be so. This is the best way to do it.
I could just drag them all in the same dungeon.
No, I want this. I want to see where they go.
All right.
Corinne, get out of here.
I don't know what Which dungeon to go to?
I'm going with
Go
Spence.
join Spence.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
What is it, Kitty?
Oh, just, you know.
I know that we've been dragged away from the entire group now over in this corner. I'm kidding.
Figured while they're busy, we could have a chat.
I've got quite a lot of interesting things on my mind, so maybe you can help me bring them together. What is it you'd like to chat about?
What were you and Lexi talking about last night?
That was not that. What?
Because I was talking to her and she was a little cagey, but she seemed to imply that I should talk to you about it.
Did she mention a big mouse?
She tried.
And did that work?
What do you think, Quintus?
So what do you want to know?
Everything. What do you mean, what do I want to know?
Well, look, the Kitty, usually when it comes to this kind of thing, I have someone to help me, and I didn't want to bother you, and I felt differently, so I wanted to bring it out in a different way, and there's a bunch of things going on right now, and I didn't want to bother you, and so I talked to Lexi about feelings. I asked Lexi if she would like to share feelings with each other, if we would like to. I let Lexi know that I think about her, and I have. See, you're usually here to help me with the words. I started realizing that I cared about her, and I didn't know what to do about that. Usually, whenever we first came and and seen them, and I was obviously here for the reasons that we both know, I didn't think much of it, but every time I see Lexi go off without me, or anytime I need to talk to someone about something, it's you or it's her that I see. Like back when Raleigh had died, or back when we were infiltrating the Crystal Queen's palace, or even whenever she went off to fight Murkwire without me. It's all I could think about. And I felt it was more genuine to tell her without your help, because you would have just did it better than me. It wouldn't have been me. If that makes sense.
Not entirely, but I think I get where you're coming from.
I told Lexi that I have feelings for her, and that I wanted her to think about how she might feel about me. And
what was the yelling part? Because that's when I noticed. Like, I didn't come down. I was dealing with some neat stuff. I just heard something beautiful, something. Then I heard Vogan yell, and then I figured you guys had a handle on it because it got quiet after that.
Well, she had said something, and it made me, and it was nothing. It was nothing. It wasn't a mouse, but it was.
I know it wasn't a mouse, Quintus. Everyone knows it wasn't a mouse.
But it was.
There's no big mouse in our house.
Logan, I need a big mouse to appear in the house at some point. Anyway,
we have rodents of usual size.
It was nothing. Nothing really. She had just. There was just something that was surprising.
All right, that's all I wanted to know. You seemed so cagey about it, and I figured we're gonna die in the next few hours. Might as well suss what I can out of you.
Everything's going crazy. I finally see this humongous magical phenomenon in front of me, and I can't do anything.
Beautiful, isn't it?
This
Like
is the kind
horrible.
of magic that they should be going after, not the kind all of you do.
I can't imagine any human on the planet being able to do this. Or if they are beyond exceptional.
What can I do? What can you do? What is there anything that I can do? Can I point my standard anywhere?
Maybe.
I'll follow I'll follow anything you tell me. I need to know what I can do.
I have a habit of following things you do, Quinn. It shouldn't be the other way around. I have something I might be able to do, but I don't know yet.
I'm glad that you do.
Yeah, it's hard to think about what I can do with it, but I have something, and I just want to apologize in advance if it doesn't work out the way it should.
Apologize in advance.
It's for me. Don't worry about it.
Going up.
I'm back.
So,
Hey! What happened? Tell me everything.
All right.
Oh, that was a big mouse. Anyway, so.
Oh, you.
I told you that's what they were talking about.
I knew it.
God damn.
Okay.
A lot of this stuff goes over my head, but you said that this pale lady made this stuff, right? All this stuff that's happening right now?
Elma's mom and her work together. That's what I saw, at least.
And then this Vestius took it over. Is that correct?
It seems so. That's what I saw, at least.
So, you said, points to sister, that the caster they can undo it, right?
Correct. But if Vestius is the caster, we may have our work cut out for us.
Well, I was just wondering if trying to ask this pale lady for help would make any difference.
Oh.
I think that vision was supposed to be help, but I can certainly try.
I can do something.
What can you do?
I can probably only do it once, maybe ever, but I can... There's a living spell inside me after gestures vaguely where the cards were floating before.
Yeah.
And, I can use it to... the best way to describe it is I can rewrite reality.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
You can. Huh?
Yeah, it's gonna take me, if I cast it, I can use it, but I won't be able to do anything else after that. And if I word it even a little wrong, I could fling myself into the future, I could kill us all, I could make it so we never existed. It's
Very complicated.
So last
spell.
resort.
Yeah.
Yeah, plan C.
I'm going to pull out my fan and look at Vogan. It's the last thing I wanted to do, but... Vogan, could you break this for me?
Oh, we're doing that now.
Why? What happens? What happens if I break it?
My mother gave this to me when she left me in the street. It contains the primal gemstone of Vestius.
Oh.
I don't know how it'll help, but maybe getting it out of the fan will. I don't have any other ideas. I have nothing else. I don't know how to help.
That is so special to you. Do you really think that we should break
There's
it?
nothing left here for me unless we fix it. I have nothing else to give here.
You have the primal gemstone of Vestius.
Yeah. My mother used it to weave the power of the Star Ruby into people's souls. To make them into keys. To open the vaults. In exchange, she wanted to find the body of the Raven Queen. So yes, I do. She left it with me, and I don't know why.
That gemstone, and those like it, The ones that correspond to all of the Eidolons are anchoring points that allow the Eidolons to pass through the divine curtain when needed. The Eidolons have material bodies that they assume when they need to interfere with the world. Not like their true bodies, but it allows them to appear and act as they need to, as long as those are on the other side. Effectively, it's a very small fragment of the Eidolon's soul. Under certain circumstances, if somebody that were compatible with Vestige in some way were to be in possession of it, and this is a long shot, they could trick something into thinking that they were Vestige. However, that also runs the risk of if a being tries to connect with it too strongly, it would alert the Eidolon, and the results for them might be disastrous. It's your call what to do with it. But if I can be of any assistance, though Vestige is my god and I would serve them faithfully, I believe that everything happening here is in error. And I would be willing...
those things.
I would be willing to risk my life to set it right.
And it's familiar about what happened with me before?
But Miriam, I think if you touch it,
I think I'm also compatible.
you weren't you.
I'm not in great shape, and if it works, then we have something, and if it doesn't, then it wouldn't be the worst either.
You believe that you'd be compatible with Vestige?
I think so, to some degree. Aviana's mom had a hand in my birth. They put a bit of that in me, I guess.
If this worked, if either of us were to do this, we could, in theory, stop the ritual and turn things back to how they were. I imagine it would take some time. I imagine it wouldn't be instantaneous. But what we have to be aware of is after we do that, that would leave Tenebros in the city to take advantage of its weakened state. I could try, but I'm only going to have one shot at it.
I know it's selfish for me to want to turn things back to how they are. I know that. But if
It's
you
a
can
solution.
If you can find out anything to help us with this,
I'll try. He, steps back from you. It's not a dramatic thing, but it's going to take me a minute. I will try to recall any memories from those who came before me that relate to this ritual and specifically how it was designed to end. This vault that we're in was made by the Nephilim, I can tell you that much. Our kind constructed basically all of them, so it stands to reason that some of my ancestors must have some knowledge of how this works. You see his eyes glow a faint pink and he closes them. He stays still for a second, and as he does, his body glows faintly with a very... The little lines on his skin, the astrological symbols, they seem to... little bits of light begin dancing along them as if moving through circuitry. The ritual has never been used in such a way that it reached that conclusion, but those who helped to build it, they believed that if it were to be reversed, if the ritual were to end and were to snap itself back to how things were beforehand, it would take roughly 2 hours. There's something else.
What?
The faintest possibility of what we might be able to do. If during that time, if we set the ritual to rewind itself, it will take 2 hours, but it will continue as if it were still trying to seize its target, the Tenebros. If during that time, we manage to strip it of its physical form, the ritual may be able to do both at once.
Oh.
If we could kill it, and we could destroy any means for its soul to escape by removing its body, as the ritual concludes, it may still manage to trap him here. If it has enough ambient energy. Because it won't need all of the magical energy gathered to do so if its body is removed. So if we do this, we have a 2-hour window where killing the Tenebros would also remove it from the outside world and trap it here.
Then let's do it. Let's rest up, perform whatever we need to do. Have Kitty fix us, and then the rest of us, after Kitty succeeds in what he's going to do, take down Vestius in 2 hours.
That's a lot. That's a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well,
To
we
be
wouldn't
cl-
be the highest standard if we made ourselves not take on a mission of this caliber.
To be clear, Miriam, we need the power of your wish to restore everyone, yes?
I think so. We could do it maybe instantaneously, as long as I know which magic to use.
So the order you plan to do this in is to use that to restore everybody and then to attempt to use the stone to channel Vestius and put an end to this?
Yes.
First, we need to know if the primal gemstone of Vestius truly is in that fan of yours.
She
You want me to
gave
break
this
it?
May I see it?
Of course, and I'll hand it to him.
Are you absolutely certain you want to do this? You'd be
I
willing
think for-
to risk your life in this way for the people of this city and those people back there?
They're getting out no matter what. That's the only thing I can hope for. Yeah.
You see his arm falls to the side, raises it back up and looks at it. I will extract this. If you have any goodbyes to say, then this would probably be the time to do so.
Is everything ready, Kitty?
Just about. He's getting it out now. Nothing left to do but do it.
Not the first time I've heard you say that.
Hopefully it won't be the last.
It better not be.
Though we'll have to convince Tantia.
As you all crowd around Miriam, you get the distinct impression that whatever you're on the horizon of, whatever comes next, might be the end of things for him. That even with the power of a wish behind him, there's not a lot that could protect Miriam from embodying the power of a god. And even those of you that do not fully understand the power of the Eidolons can easily comprehend and feel the weight of what that means. As you all spend a final moment together with Miriam. Avi, you're the first to see a very light red glow coming from the way of the chamber, as what you assume to be the Stone of Vestius. Glancing over, Quintus, you also notice next. Lexi, you as well. And finally, Elma. This warm red glow that seems to start at a very small point in the vault begins to expand out as you all turn your attention. The rest of the group preoccupied with Miriam. You all turn your attention. And you see crystal wings emerge out from the back of Aristes as he summons a very large set of glass wings that the Nephilim are known for. He turns back towards the group, watches the lot of you. You see him spin his halberd that he's been carrying and he pierces it into the ground on the bridge. And Avi, you catch a very morose smile from Aristes as he turns. The wings take on a reddish glow that almost matches the hue of a star ruby as he steps forward and into the chamber in front of him, heading towards the middle of it. As he does, there's a sharp red flash that comes from him as the lines that cover his body glow bright red. Everything falls silent, as you know nothing from within can reach outside and nothing from outside can reach within, sound-wise. As you see the entire sphere glowing. You see the rings that run around the outside of the sphere. The symbols on them begin to light up one by one, turning various colors and then all turning red around him. There's a bright flash as the chamber shifts and you see the large hole that had opened in it begins to fill in as you see his body beginning to burn. The winged form of Aristes turns back to the lot of you, turns back, eyes locked on Miriam from deep within the chamber. You see the pinkish eyes flashing to the same star ruby-esque quality that you had, and then back. A very calm smile comes over his face as the sphere seals in entirely, the entrance to it gone. The entire sphere flashes red. There's an eruption of energy that comes out through the vault, echoes out into the outside, as you all feel magic burning past you, as you feel a storm of energy rushing out, not hurting you, but like a hurricane-level wind pushing past you. And whenever it subsides, looking into the vault, the giant sphere and rings are no longer present. The same space they had occupied still floats, is still there. In the middle, you see nothing, except for the star ruby of Vestius, floating, the two sections of the fan pulled harmlessly apart from one another, and a single shard of a pinkish gemstone floating beside them that loses its color and crumbles into dust. You feel a change. You feel the crystallization on your skin no longer feels painful. It's still present there, but it no longer feels painful. Quiet fills the room.
Logan,
You said us.
is the bridge still there?
The bridge is still there. Where the 200-foot radius sphere had been before, there is now just a large empty space, a spherical space, at the center of which, floating, it seems like the anti-gravity effect in that room is still in place because the two parts of the fan separated cleanly at the hinge are floating just in the center of it, with the primal gemstone of Vestius slowly rotating in place.
I wanted to know if there was a thing there to allow Aristes to help us take down the
silver halberd
monster.
is still there, if that's what you're referring to.
I would like to go and grab it.
You walk up to the end of the bridge, your footsteps resonating as you step forward, echoing through the now hollow space. You step up to the edge, take a hold of the silver halberd. You notice a chain dangling from the end of it, a silver chain as before, that when the halberd had appeared, the pink gemstone had been on the end of. There's a empty link for that would hold a gemstone on the end of it, that when you take it out of the ground, it shimmers lightly. When you turn it, when the light catches the blade, it takes on a pinkish hue that dances across its surface.
Make any preparations. We leave immediately. We don't have time for anything else. Tenebros has to go down now. And we're the only ones who can do it.
It's now or never.
Miriam, do you plan to use that wish of yours for the healing, or what is the plan?
You don't have to.
You don't
know you're gonna hit us with some sweet healing or what? No.
Yeah,
What?
you do whatever you want. We'll be fine.
Either way, no pressure.
Wow.
No pressure. Are you
I love
gonna do
how
this
people
thing
keep
that we
adding to it.
absolutely need?
Holy
I
shit.
love how people keep adding on to it. I just want Mary to go, no, let's just go.
Me too.
Trying to think of the strongest healing spell that I could cast. I could break the rules, but then I won't be able to help in the fight.
We'll need your help.
Or rather, I'd be able to help. I just hurt myself.
Miriam, roll me Arcana.
Arcana it is.
Can I give him my favor?
No.
Damn.
Can I assist him?
Who knows?
Come on.
I mean, Wish can probably do something helpful, but I don't know. It's Wish. Who knows what Wish can do? Wish can maybe do really good popcorn. I don't know.
I mean, it probably could.
Make healing popcorn that will restore us to full.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to break the rules.
What does that mean?
It means that this is gonna... it's gonna hurt me a bit, but it'll be able to, I think, fix... yeah, all of us and more if we get upstairs to the others.
What did Abby just tell you?
I know, but it's the best contribution I can make. I'll be fine. I won't kill myself or anything. I'm gonna tear my muscles up a little bit, and I might not be able to do this again.
So you're thinking you want to get up to everybody else first?
Yeah.
It's whatever you want, Miriam. This is your call.
Everyone who's gonna be helping needs to be together. Otherwise, it's everyone present.
Hut hut ya.
Winchester, there you are!
As you head up and you all arrive on the entry-level floor, you see Winchester, but you don't see Winchester greeting you happily this time. You see Winchester looking out the large doors at the end of the hallway and slowly stepping backwards as you hear several...
Okay, Winchester, we gotta go!
You see the frame of the door blast open as you see what appears to be 4 algorithms of the silvery humanoids who'd been there floating in, again, totally floating off the ground, totally still, arms out, just floating in down the hallway, evidently alerted to the fact that the ritual had been altered.
Oh no. Oh no, not like
right.
this.
I forgot about that part.
Maybe
I
we
will
can
run
reason
toward
with them.
Winchester and jump
Yeah,
onto
well.
I guess we beat him up.
We gotta go, and we gotta go now.
Yep.
Or we run.
Speed
I like
round.
that one.
You could try it run.
Running is good too.
As you guys...
We have limited time, so running would be a good call.
As you guys break for the elevator, you see one of them look over towards where the elevator is, and as you all stop and dash towards it, you see it raise up its palm, and you see the rune of law appear in its palm, and it blasts it.
Counterspell.
Not a spell.
Yes!
Not a spell. Been down this road.
Red
Not a
getting all
spell.
excited.
Not a spell.
Yo, hell yeah.
You would not. It wouldn't burn. You would be aware when you do it that it's not magic. It's something a bit different. It fires it towards it, and not going at you guys, it heads towards the elevator. There is a swipe through the air. Vogan, you see a crackle of electricity as the air seems to contort in a blade shape that cuts the rune down and causes it to detonate early.
The babe! The babe's here!
Oh!
You guys hear footsteps as from the main stairs that would lead up to the second floor of it, a figure walks down, a black blade in one hand and a long blue blade in the other, as you guys see an elf with long black hair descending, walking towards them, electricity crackling from one of the blades.
Hi, Master.
If you all have something you need to do, then go and do it. I'll hold things here. Vogan, I'm not sure what changed outside, but I trust you had something to do with it. You've done a very good job.
He'll bow.
All right. Allow me to pull my weight for once, as I protect my father's castle. See her turn, raise the black blade up towards the algorithms. My father built this place as a testament to the goodwill between all races. It may have failed that, but I want to carry on that idea. And as she is about to strike forward, you see a blast of flame from behind the algorithms as one strikes it. One of the algorithms tumbles forward as a blade is embedded in its back, and you see a figure with flaming gauntlets stepping up and towards the hallway. As you see Elmira on the other side of her, the algorithms, and on the other side of them as Keen von Haku steps out, tenses his knuckles, And you, as the doors to the elevator close, you just hear a very quiet but resonant, "I found you."
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Wait, Hanzo's looking for you both. Closes door.
And it closes, and the elevator engages, and you begin to move up as you start to hear the sounds of combat coming from the floor below. As soon as it does and it opens, you hear the sound of wisping wind coming from outside. Before, the wind had been stifled by the barrier. It's like the weather couldn't really affect things all that much. You hear the sound of torrential wind and have to cover your eyes for a second to adjust to it, and when you step out onto the balcony, you see the crystal still there, connected to Morian, but all of the spires, the tendrils that had connected to it before, seem to have shattered and cracked off, leaving just the large chunk that he's trapped in. You see Lilywind and Vindy both at the edge, looking out at the city, as you guys rush out and look out at the city as well. Everything appears to be basically the same. Chunks are still floating through the air. In fact, once you're out, you feel gravity's lessened enough that you almost feel like if you lift it off, you might be able to simply maneuver through the air like you could in the chamber below.
We have a Kingdom Hearts fight. We have a Kingdom
As
Hearts
you
fight
look
with
out
Cerberus.
as you look out at the city, you see the facets that make up the gemstone barrier behind them. They seem to be like blinking out randomly and back in. And you see long, gradual cracks forming along the barrier, and magical energy swirling and appearing with almost localized arcane storms of energy wisping and circling around, as the ritual has clearly been disrupted. You see in the distance, landing on one of the massive chunks of city, the Tenebros crashes into it, lands, and you see the final algorithm that was on it get crushed under its hand. There's a moment of resignation, of silence, as its attention turns and its massive draconic eyes fixate on the general direction of the Skyward Estate, and then up towards where all you guys are. It's still several hundred feet away, at least. You see its wings spread out. The green inner glow under it flares up as it reels back and lets out a roar that resonates through the entire city. The green energy flashing with the sound as it rockets off and starts beelining towards the balcony where you are. Miriam? Vindy looks at a lot of you.
I will watch over here, and if I find you need me, I will aid, but I'm quite at my limit, I think.
Leave this to us, then.
A small orb of light with small little specks the size of almost like dust motes spinning around it appears in front of Miriam. As he grasps it, he is going to cast Wish and heal every single creature he can see, and also it will affect them with Greater Restoration.
You're going to use that effect?
Yep.
Alrighty. If I recall, that one is safe, is it not? Because that's one of the effects it describes.
Spell simply takes effect. Alternatively, you can create one of those effects. The stress of casting it to produce any effect other than duplicating another spell.
Alright.
I think that one will still hit me.
Duplicating another spell. Yep. So that would happen. You are all healed as it happens. Energy washes over you as the world seems to get, as the world itself seems to turn. You see all the facets of the gemstone barrier. They all stop, and you see what looks like hundreds of reflections of a clear full moon appear in them, and the light expands out brightly. The entire center of the city within the barrier is filled with this almost warming, luminescent glow that seems to come from down below, this bluish tinge as if in reaction to the wish that when it happens, you all feel reinvigorated, and I'm going to treat you all as if you've taken a long rest. And I'm
very nice.
long rest, and the reductions to your hit points are gone. I need you to roll me 1d100, and if it is 1 to 33, you lose. You can never cast Wish again.
Oh, fuck.
Come on.
I'm
I
making
need
sure
at
to watch him
least
do.
one more of these.
You do not lose Wish!
Oh my god!
You do this. Flux, as you watch this, you almost feel like additional systems within you come into place. As if as you watch him cast this, though the magic is mystifying and complicated, you have an innate understanding of it, and you feel the information on how to cast Wish is added to a certain library within your mind. As the silver fire that resides within you seems to burn brighter, taking in the information and the magic that you see. As this happens, as the Tenebrosis form charges towards you, Fenris, you feel the weight of the hammer as your feet lift off the ground just slightly. You feel the hammer glow, and you feel as if the warm presence of the Pale Lady once again wrapped around you. You swear for a second you see the arms come in and wrap around your shoulders and embrace you as you go to fight. Aviana, you feel the presence and you see the vague outline of Valhendragon standing beside you, weapon up. You see them look to you, look out towards the threat ahead, and then their spirit vanishes, continuing to grant its blessing to you. As the rest of you look towards it and steel yourselves for the battle that's coming ahead, you prepare yourself, you get ready and back up, preparing for the onslaught as the dragon approaches you, and just as it's about to collide with the area above you, you see a wisp of smoke above you appearing beside it in the form of a dragonborn wielding a great sword comes in beside it, screaming, just strikes it in the side of the head, knocking it off course, and it collides with the side of the building as you see Murkwire in the air, teleporting in with the cape. You are not getting away from me! And we are ending there, and next session, we're resuming with the fight itself.
Goodbye,
Have
you
fun.
two.
Have fun. Have fun. Have fun.